Hey guys!
Hey everybody!
We have a new month, so that means we're taking on a whole new theme this October.
Guess what it is?
I know. Talking about some candy, some custom creations, learning just how each of these candies is special, different, amazing, delicious in its own ways. God made each of us special and has unique things for us to do with our lives. So it's gonna be a delicious month. Hang on in there while we say happy birthday to some of our October babies. You guys ready?
Hey October babies. I'm kind of wondering what your favorite candy is. You be thinking about that while we tell you happy birthday. You ready? Happy birthday to Eliana, Tashin, Wade, Amelia, Brianna, Will, and Rachel. And anyone else out there who's having a birthday this coming week, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, guys. And since we are in a new month, that means we've also got a new memory verse. So I got my little bookmark snack in there.
It's a good bookmark. You should try that at home.
Delicious. So our memory verse this month is from the book of Psalms. So Psalms is part of the Old Testament. That means some of the books before Jesus was alive. And this book is a lot of prayers and praises to God. So we are praising God for something super special this month, and it's how He made us. So let's go ahead and get ready to say our memory verse together. It's gonna be a bit of an echo. Gotta get my memory verse snack in there.
Oh, we are gonna have a snack with it?
Right.
Okay.
I gotta get my energy. So anyways, we're gonna do a little bit of an echo. So after we do a verse and a motion, we want you guys to do it too. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right.
Gotta put our candy down for this one. Okay, ready?
It is how you made me is amazing and wonderful. I praise you for that. What you have done is wonderful. I know that very well.
Good.
It's Psalm 139:14, NIRV.
All right. Good job,
Great job, guys.
And you didn't even have to have some candy to do that. But I bet you want some.
Speaking
All right.
of candy.
Let's get back to our creations over here. We've been making some things out of candy. I know it's sad we're not just eating it, but maybe we can eat them afterwards. We are making some little self-portraits out of this candy today because we're talking about how God created each one of us in His image. Now, of course, we're not made of candy, but we are made to be incredible and wonderful. If you think of all the amazing ways that God's even made your body, your eyeballs and your hair and all the different things that your brain can do and think. It's amazing how God made you. And He also made us in His image, which that's kind of hard to fully understand. But we are gonna learn more about that in our Bible story today. So why don't you check it out and we'll finish making our creations. We'll be back in a sec.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verses 26 through 28.
In the beginning, God took nothing and made everything. From darkness, God called out light.
God poured out waters and stretched the sky far overhead like an unpainted canvas. He shaped dry land and canyons and great mountain ranges, and then decked them out with trees and vines and plants of every kind. God spun the moon and sun and stars and planets out into space. And then he filled the oceans with fish and the sky with birds. God thought up an amazing variety of animals to crawl and hop and race over the earth.
All of this was incredible, unbelievable, the most artistic show of power ever. God made complex atoms and cells smaller than the eye can see, all the way up to vast spaces stretching across the universe farther than we can imagine. And yet, all of this was just a warm-up to God's most spectacular creation: people. People. It's true. We're made of the same atoms and cells and elements as rocks and plants and animals. But unlike anything else in God's creation, we are made in God's image. Then God said,
"Let us make human beings so that they are like us. Let them rule over the fish in the seas and the birds in the sky. Let them rule over the livestock and all the wild animals. And let them rule over all the creatures that move along the ground."
So God created human beings in his own likeness. He created them to be like himself. He created them as male and female. You are made in God's image. Now, that does not mean God shares your eye color, or your freckles, or even your quirky smile. But it does mean that you were designed for God to shine through you. You were made to show the world God's love, God's grace and mercy, God's joy, God's peace, God's kindness, God's wisdom. You and every person you'll ever meet are of infinite value because you're made in the image of God. And here's what's even more amazing. God didn't design us to turn into a bunch of little robots who look and act the same when we follow him. Instead, the more time you spend with God, asking him to transform your thoughts and words and choices, the more you become uniquely you. As you follow Jesus and reflect God's light more clearly, you'll be able to do the things that God has designed for you and no one else. So, next time you look in the mirror, remember, you're looking at the image of God, and no one in this world can reflect him just the way you do.
Wasn't that amazing about how God made us in his image? Well, we've been working on our little self-portraits, and we have our special friend Teddy with us today, and he made one out of candy too. Teddy, can you show us yours? Oh, that looks amazing.
Goodness.
Look, here's ours. Aren't those fun? Do you want to eat yours? What do you want to eat first, your eyeballs or your hair?
But it's glued on.
Oh, maybe we can't eat the
Might add a
glue.
little extra flavor.
That's
Who knows?
okay. I don't know. We could eat one of those though, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, first though, Teddy, before you eat all this candy, you gotta help us with our question, okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's do a drum roll.
right.
Help me with a drum roll, ready? How would you describe God?
Talk about it in your small groups, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.